Hello folks, and welcome to a brand new video from us at Kernow EXP. So we're on the public footpath of Peranporth Aerodrome, which is a semi-active airfield. They do a lot of things here, but we're here today to look at some Stanton shelters, and that's what we're going to do. We've got a pasty with us. So we're going to enjoy this pasty, folks, from the Cornish oven as well. So let's go. Let's go towards where we need to be. See you in a bit. Right, so we are a bit closer to a Spitfire Pen, folks. And this is where one aircraft would have been billeted. And there would have been a holdfasts here in the ground, which it looks like this has been concreted over in later time, folks, but this this here could be a hold down fast, and of course the front of the engine would have been here, and there would have been various equipment stored in and around here so they could start the engine quickly and get up and away. So in here is a Stanton Shelter. I'm going to try to get in there. It is a little overgrown here, to say the least, but he who perseveres wins. And oh, flipping heck, good lord, I don't think anyone's been in here for a little while. Oh, God blimey. That was a bit of a challenge, wasn't it? But we're in, folks. So, I'm going to stop the video there a minute because I need to put you in low light mode. So let's do that. Okay, so we are at the entrance to the Stanton Shelter. I have got very amateur prepared today, folks, but there's looking out there. So yeah, there's a metal tin here. I don't know what in the devil that is. It doesn't look period correct, but we're going to come in here and have a little look. So I do believe this is the one that me and David were in a while back. So it is quite dark in here, so it's a bit limited to what we can actually see, folks. I know you guys can see better than me, really. So, Stanton shelters, they were produced by Stanton, and they were concrete rounds, which I do believe they are all separate pieces, folks. And I've just noticed, actually, there's some moths, so we don't want to see those. So they are bolted together by these bolts here, as you can see that, and they've been there since the war. They would have put a layer of bitumen and cloth in between, and then later on, when it was all assembled, it would have been cemented over. As you can see, there is some cement lining there, which is quite interesting. Now, sometimes what crews would have done, oh good lord, yeah, so we can prove that we've been here, folks. Look, there's an old sticker there. That's a really old one, that is. I think David put that there. Oh good lord, and there we are there again. So that proves that we've been in this one before. So there's a bird's nest there, so we don't really want to muck about with that. So we've got some graffiti here, but I don't think that's from the war. I think that could be from the war. I can't really, it's not really intelligible, folks, but the more you look, the more you find. That's what it's all about, really. So we found a couple of really, really well preserved, oh, there's a drawing there. Don't know what that's all about. So originally, folks, right in here, there would have been wooden shuttering up and over, and then they would have had some kind of fibre board over the top, and then there would be benches along the side here, which obviously have been long since disappeared. And then obviously what they would have done is they would have created this entrance here. What was that shadow then? That was a bit weird, wasn't it? Right, so I'm just going to take you out of low light a minute and just show you how dark it really is. Back in a mo. So if there was an air raid, folks, the aircraft maintenance crew and the pilot would have just ran in here and hunkered down. Now above this Stanton shelter there is probably 2 feet of soil and so on and so forth. So we'll go outside and have a little look. Now it's meant to rain today, and so this is the other pen, the other side. Now this is called Abund, and this is a defensive measure basically to protect the aircraft if there was an air raid, folks. So there probably would have been Ju-88s or something like that from the Luftwaffe coming over, dropping bombs, just causing havoc. So as we can see, the actual Stanton shelter is right there. There's quite a lot of soil and growth. This probably would have been grassed during the war, folks. And it's going to help to protect you from any incoming attack. So we were just over there a second ago. You can see it over there. Now the reason you might be wondering, why is Kernow down at Peranporth airfield? Well, I didn't plan to come here today, folks. My son has got to do some things in Peranporth, so I just thought it would just make sense to get some extra video for you guys, because you know it just makes sense, doesn't it, you know, to explain about Stanton shelters and what have you. Now this airfield here is active today, and it's used for lots of different aircraft, little smallish ones really. It is privately owned, and you can actually do skydiving from here, and you can go up in an aircraft if you wish. You've got to pay for it, of course. And also they use the facilities here for motorcycling training and for car training, which is really cool. We've got quite a fascination with this airfield because it was a Spitfire and Hurricane base during the war. I do think there might have been some Bristol aircraft here as well, but it is a very, very interesting location, and it's really good that you can just walk in on the coast path. But you know, I highly recommend you don't walk on the actual airfield, folks, because like I said, it is active. And also they do use it for a camping ground for, like for instance, Tunes in the Dunes and things like that, which is down at Peranporth. So here we got another Spitfire or Hurricane hold down, hold fast, and we've got another Stanton shelter. So I think this one is quite good because we can actually see the cement surround there, which is really good. So just take a picture of that. Whoops, I've done a video, what a twit. Picture. Right, there we go. Just making sure I got that, because with thumbnails basically, folks, we need the thumbnail basically. So there is an aircraft up there, folks. As you can see, it's probably come from the airfield here. Oh, it's actually a helicopter, so it's the Royal Navy. Right, folks, so this is the entrance, as you can see, and yeah, like I said previously, they did try to stop people from coming in here, but obviously it didn't really work. So we just met somebody there, so just like to say thanks. Nice to meet you, mate. So here we go, another Stanton shelter, and there would have been a door on here, folks, and I do believe it's a kind of green ministry and the latch handle that we've seen before. So it would have shut there basically to try and keep the elements out, because we are on the North Cornish coast here, and it does get pretty blowy, because we've done ghost investigations down here before, as you well know, and it was like a wind tunnel, it really was. So yeah, so here we go. This is inside the last Stanton Shelter that we're going to be going in today, and we've got some more detritus there, which I don't even know what that is. What is it? Oh, it's part of an old chair, an old school chair. We've got some more graffiti by the artistes, if you want to call it that. So, this Stanton Shelter right here is probably the one that gets blasted by the winds the most. Because look, that is south-southwesterly right out there, folks. That's St Agnes Beacon there. That is the coast right there, as you can see. We're right on the edge, and even today, this is summertime right now, and the weather's a bit iffy at the minute, but it's quite blowy even today, folks. So you can imagine this would be a flipping wind tunnel. So those doors that I was saying about, they would be so important. So this is like a blast wall, basically. So if there was a blast behind us, down over there, the blast would come to here, and by the time it gets to where the door is, which is there, it wouldn't be nowhere near as bad. So you can see that what they've done when they were constructing this is they've chiseled out the side of the blocks here, and they've actually rendered it over. And look, they've actually put the lines in. Look, they didn't have to do that. That's a bit of beautification, folks. On this side, not so much. Right, let's go back out into the pen. It's a bit blowy here, flipping heck. Right, so there we are. So there is one other thing I want to have a look at, and we'll go and have a look at that now, folks. It's an old Nissan Hut base. So I hope you enjoyed that. It's a little bit extra, folks, really, because we didn't really plan to do a great deal this weekend because of weather and what have you, because it's meant to be pants again. So we're going to make our way to where the Nissan Hut base is, and we'll finish there. See you in a moment. Right, folks, so the final part of today's filming, and this would have been a Nissan Hut here. This is the base to it, and this would have been possibly a stores. We'll gain access here a moment, and going in through where the original doorway would have been. So, as we can see, this is the crinkly sort of tin construction here, and obviously it's been long since destroyed, but obviously the foundation and the ghost of what was here is still here, which is quite interesting, folks. So they probably would have stored aircraft parts in here, and possibly the bits and pieces that would have been utilised every day. There might have been a stove in here. I don't think so, really, but I'm sure if Adam was with us, he would tell us a few more things that we're not aware of, folks. But yeah, it's very interesting, and we've got an anchor down reinforced bar here, folks, which is quite interesting. Oh look, we've got a geocache down there, look. Good Lord. Well, we're not going to interfere with that. So yeah, anyway, so I'd just like to say thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little bit of extra video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you want to buy me a coffee and encourage me to do more like this, then there will be a link in the description. This video will be up within 48 hours. Just like to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Cheers and gone.